The dead hang, sometimes called the brachial hang, is incredibly popular. Using a different strategy, this video covers the real science underlying its benefits. I'll explain why hanging for 2 minutes each day helps with pain relief, muscle building, recovery from injuries, and posture. I will also go through a summary of other benefits. But first, to help our community develop, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now let's get started. Number 1. Improved muscles. Hanging strengthens the arms, shoulders, and core muscles of the upper body. A 2-minute dead hang is difficult even for fit people because it puts a lot of tension on the hands, forearms, chest, and core muscles. Tight abs and a strong lower back are required. Workouts that engage muscles through extension, such as dead hangs, promote complete muscular growth, in contrast to workouts that target individual muscles through flexion or contraction, such as ab crunches and bicep curls. This exercise, in contrast to isolated motions such as bicep curls, works for many muscular groups simultaneously. Dead hangs are a great way to add variety and intensity to your exercise regimen. They work your arms, chest, upper and lower back, and abs from different angles, which promotes faster and more efficient muscular growth. Number 2. Improved posture. Learning how to perform a 2-minute dead hang develops your core and upper body while also enhancing your posture. Hanging causes your spine to lengthen, which changes how you move and makes you feel taller. Hanging objectively lengthens the body and improves posture by decompressing the spine. Dr. John Kirsch's book, Shoulder Pain, The Solution and Prevention, provides insight into the benefits of hanging for posture, despite a lack of longitudinal studies in this area. The acromion, a shoulder joint bone that causes slouched postures, shrinks as a result of sedentary lifestyles. Dr. Kirsch discovered that hanging from a bar encourages a more erect and Adonis-like posture by straightening the acromion. Number 3. Recovery from a shoulder injury. The Active Body Clinic in Australia is among the many that support the dead hang method for healing from shoulder injuries. Their knowledge states that extending the arms forward can irritate the supraspinatus tendon, which runs between the shoulder bones. On the other hand, a dead hang that involves straight arms allows the tendon to extend without being pinched, which helps with muscle and tendon recovery. Frequent dead hangs improve the flexibility and strength of the shoulders. According to Dr. Kirsch, performing 3 30-second dead hangs a day can reduce shoulder pain by 99%. Nonetheless, seeing a physical therapist is advised, particularly for managing persistent pain, which may call for further measures like medication and rotator cuff rehabilitation. Number 4. Pain relief. Prolonged sitting compresses the spinal discs, increasing the risk of health problems such as hernias and persistent back discomfort. According to research, hanging, a straightforward technique for decompressing the spine, can be beneficial. A fitness program that included muscle toning exercises and spine stretches, such as the 2-minute dead hang, dramatically decreased pain levels in the shoulders, middle back, and lower back in a 2015 research that involved students who sat for 4 to 6 hours a day. 8 weeks of spine stretching reduced cervical pain by an average of 38.8%, according to another research. Although long daily stretches are great, a speedier fix is the 2-minute dead hang, which combines the advantages of strength training, Pilates, and yoga into a rapid and effective spine lengthening exercise. Number 5. A wide range of additional benefits. Although there isn't enough evidence to support it, hanging has several benefits such as increased lung function and grip strength, which is especially beneficial for older people. Breathing becomes difficult when hanging due to the mechanical compression, which eventually improves lung capacity. Dead hangs also improve mood by providing improved posture, toned muscles, and less discomfort, all of which contribute to a general feeling of well-being. Reaching a 2-minute dead hang increases dopamine, which elevates mood and energy levels all day. Another benefit is better sleep quality, which is brought on by less discomfort and happier feelings. After regular practice for 4 to 8 weeks, results usually become apparent. Considering 2 minutes, the task of holding a dead hang demands thought. The chance is worthwhile to investigate due to its many benefits. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more fitness tips. See you on our next video on your screen.